Today's video is pretty fire heavy. I'll be lighting the campfire with a big bundle of feather sticks. I'll be replenishing them at the end of the video. I'll be using my Mora Bushcraft Black's new divot to do a bow drill. I'll be making char cloth, and I'll see if I can ignite last week's lump of punk wood with the flint and steel. Hope you enjoy. It's Sunday morning, I'm in the woods and the midges are nibbling like hell. So no messing this morning, I'm going to get a fire going, and you've probably noticed from past videos my big bundle of feather sticks that always hang off the tree. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to light a quick fire and I'm going to use them. So no messing, get some smoke, get these midges away. I'm going on holiday on Tuesday and my wife will kill me if I'm covered in red dots. It's surprising how dry these are, considering it rained last night and they've been hanging up there for weeks. There we go, no messing fire lighting. Time to get the kettle on. So kettle's on, and one thing you should always do when you're lighting a fire, especially with feather sticks, when the tops burn off, always remember, pick these up, stick them back on top. If you were watching last week, you'll remember my punk wood. Well, I left it out and I want to see if it'll light up again. So I'm going to get my flint and steel kit now and see if that lights. Now, as a compulsive chopper and changer of kit, this week I had a screw top tin. I don't intend to make any char in this, I'm just keeping my kit in there. So I'll show you what I got in here now. As you can see, I've got a bowdrill kit there, that's for later. So I've got some denim, just in case I need to make char cloth. My lens. Hopefully one day we'll have a bit of sun. Decent sized piece of flint. Another piece of denim. My file striker, which I do find knocks the best sparks out. Fair play. So I made that myself out of an old file. And a piece of King Alfred's cake fungus to use with that. Now, I've tried my best to light the King Alfred's cake with a flint and steel, and I just can't do it. And Russ told me week before last when we were camping that he'd managed to do it, but I can't for some reason. It just doesn't want to work with me. So I'm going to take these two now over there, and I'm going to see if I can light the punk wood again. It's probably too damp, but it's worth a go. So there you go. And that's been laying on the ground, upside down in that position, just like that for a week. So it goes to show, you never know, you may get a spark lit. That worked just fine. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make some char cloth. So that's my designated char making tin. Some posh soap came in that. There's a little hole in it, and it's now full of denim. So that's at the side of the fire now. I'll leave that there for a while and see what happens. It's a couple of minutes later and there's already smoke coming out of the hole, so that's a pretty good sign. So last week's piece of willow from the baking on a stick, that's on the fire. My char cloth tin is smoking nicely and my kettle is almost boiled. Can't beat a tripod, brilliant. So much easier than fiddling around with little dangly things. Well, the fire's ticking over nicely now. All the bugs are gone and wind's picked up a little bit, so we've got a nice little breeze. I'm going to check on my char cloth. It's been out the fire about 10 minutes, so let's have a look. Done. There's a few little bits and bobs in there that still noticeably denim, but pretty good. Well, my next little project for today is, wait for it, my Mora Bushcraft Black. I think it was last week I mentioned I was thinking of putting a bowdrill divot in it using a penny. Well, when I looked at the knife I thought, no, that's not doable, so this is what I did. Had a 5mm square, well 5mm bar of brass, so I drilled a hole in it. This is a 10mm hole, then it's countersunk then with another drill bit which my good friend Russ gave me, which was rounded, so it made it just a bit bigger, probably about 12mm. I cut the foam grip from the handle and then I dug down into the plastic and I epoxied it in. Now my main concern with this is, when it starts getting warm, is the epoxy going to melt? Well, I don't know until I try it. So that's why I dug out my old bowdrill kit from about 6 weeks ago. This one, which has been sitting here since then, so I'm hoping it's still dry. It feels pretty dry. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to recut all the edges and I'm going to give this knife a go. Now I did start a thread last week on the Facebook Bushcraft group asking if anybody had done this. Nobody replied that had, but a few replies I did have was saying, isn't it dangerous to have your bearing block on a sharp cutting edge? And believe me, this is sharp. And I said, well, what I can do is embed it in a stick. So what I'll do now, just for them people, if they do watch this, they can see that safety is my main concern. Well, that's not heavy enough. You grab something that is. So that worked really well. It feels warm, but I don't think it's hot enough to do any damage. So knock the support off. I'm going to cut the notch in. Now I'm going to do a trick which I've seen the Northwest Primate doing. I've done it on them 2 holes and they worked fine, so I'm going to do it on this one as well. Just cut a little air channel. Right then, let's get going. Well, I didn't get a call, but I think the kit's a bit damp, so I'm not going to worry about it. The main thing was the bearing block works well. So I'm going to try now and get another call. But yeah, the dust looks a bit strange, so I think it's damp. So burnt another hole in. I am thinking perhaps it was a bit too close to the end. That may have had something to do with it. So there's another hole in there, give it another go. I don't think I need a piece of wood on there. Famous last words as I cut my bloody leg. Well, that one didn't work either, so it's got to be the kit. It must have a bit of moisture in it. One more go. Nothing again. It's got to be moisture in the kit. Well, I think that one worked. And I did Lonnie from Far North Bushcraft and Survival's drying technique. So when I was lifting it up and down, give a few bows, tap it, do that a few times. So that worked. So it was damp in the set. That's a pretty big coal now. That is brilliant. God, I'm good. So, check that shit out. Well, after a few failed attempts, definitely the kit, and I'm very impressed with my bearing block. Did get a little bit warm to the hand, but let's face it, I've done 4 or 5 coals. Awesome. Now and again, I like to bring an old piece of kit out with me, and as far as my kit goes, it's not a lot older than this. My Estwing hatchet. This hasn't seen the light of day for years. And I was looking through my large knife box, not my small knife box, and I thought, I'm going to take it out, give it a go, see if it still cuts the mustard after 15 years of using Grand's false axes. From memory, it wasn't much good at splitting, but it was pretty good at chopping. A quick story for you. When I started off going camping, that was my dream axe, and my dad, as a carpenter, he always had one in his toolbox, and now and again, if he'd bring his tools home from work, I'd sneak in the box, take it out for a play. And when I started working, my first axe I purchased was this. So I'm going to have a little play with it now, see how it cuts the mustard in 2019. I got to the core of the wood and it's as hard as hell. Well, it took a while to cut through it, but worked okay. well, it works just fine. I don't think it'd be any good for carving mine, but clay pigeon boys are over that way, if you can hear banging. So yeah, nice to have a play with it again after all these years. Got a bit of firewood in anyway. Well, I've done all the stuff I was coming up here to do this morning, so I'm going to chill out now for the next half an hour, make a pile of feather sticks to replenish my stock, and just basically chill out. So I'm going to find some nice pieces now in the pile behind, which was split weeks and weeks ago. I'm going to make probably about 6. They're not as nice and straight as I hoped for, but they'll do. After all, they're going to go up in flames anyway. So the last one I make is always a little skinny one, which I call my igniter stick, which will easily take a spark from a ferro rod. But I won't hang that up on the tree, I'll put that under the tarp. So if somebody can't get a fire going with that, they're an idiot. Right, I'm not far about to leave now, so I've doused the big log. Everything else is practically burnt to nothing. I'm going to douse that now, and I brought my shovel with me. I'm going to clean the fire pit up before I go, because I won't be back for a fortnight. Well, thanks for watching today's video. Hope you picked up something, and if you knew everything on it, then great. More power to you. May not be an upload next week because I'm going on holiday, but I'll be back the following week, hopefully get some skills done. Sorry about the noise, the clay pigeon boys are shooting in the other woods. So again, thanks for watching, and please feel free to give me a like and share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back next time. Thank you very much.